When I look back on my childhood, there is one decision that changed everything. At the time, I thought I was choosing freedom. Years later, I realized I was also choosing a path filled with lessons I never expected. I was just a child. I had grown up in a busy city, but something about the quiet life of the countryside fascinated me. Every visit felt different. The slower pace, the open spaces, and the feeling of being surrounded by family made me believe that was where I truly wanted to be. One day, I told my parents that I wanted to transfer to a school in the countryside. They didn't like the idea, especially my mother. She knew that living away from home would be difficult. She worried about everything a parent worries about, whether I would eat properly, study well, stay safe, and be happy without them nearby. She told me to not to go. My father wasn't convinced either, but I was stubborn. I believed I knew what was best for me. After many conversations, my parents finally agreed. Looking back now, I don't think they agreed because they believed it was the right decision. I think they agreed because they loved me enough to let me make my own. Soon I was enrolled in a new school. I was entering grade 10 with only 2 years left before one of the most important examinations of my life. Back then, I had a dream. I wanted to become a pilot. That dream became my motivation. I promised myself that no matter how difficult life became, I would study hard enough to make it happen. Before I left, my father took me shopping. He bought every book on the school list, every notebook, every piece of stationery I needed. Then he stopped at the pencils. Instead of buying one, he bought an entire box. At school, one of my classmates smiled when she saw it. At that age, I felt embarrassed. I wonder why my father had bought so many pencils. Today I understand. He wasn't buying pencils. He was making sure his child would never feel unprepared. That was how he showed love. Not through long speeches, through quiet actions. I moved into a relative's home and began my new life. Everything felt unfamiliar. Different streets, different routines, different faces. But one thing never changed. Every evening, my mother called. The phone would ring, and before asking about my studies, she would ask the questions only a mother asks. Did you eat? How was your day? Are you taking care of yourself? At the time, I thought she worried too much. Now I know those phone calls were her way of staying close to a child she missed every single day. Every Friday after school, I traveled home by bus. The journey wasn't short, but it never felt long because I knew who was waiting for me. Then every Sunday evening, I made the same trip back. Before I left, my mother always packed food for the week ahead. She filled my bag with everything she thought I might need. Sometimes she even wrapped a few eggs so carefully that they could survive the long journey without breaking. When I was younger, I thought she was simply packing food. Now I realize she was sending a piece of home with me every single week. Life in the countryside slowly settled into a routine. I studied. I helped around the house. I tried to adjust. Other children played outside, laughed together, but I rarely joined them. Part of me wanted to. Another part of me could almost hear my mother's voice reminding me to stay focused. One day, curiosity got the better of me. I wanted a little freedom, so I did something childish. I quietly left the telephone receiver off the hook so my mother's usual call wouldn't come through. For a little while, I thought I had outsmarted everyone. Instead, I accidentally stopped another family member from receiving an important call they had been waiting for. When they discovered what I had done, I was scolded immediately. I apologized. It wasn't a big mistake, but it taught me something. Even small actions can affect people in ways we never imagined. As the month passed, I became more comfortable with my new life. School was going well. I had even earned a place on the football team for the upcoming sports meet. For the first time since leaving home, it felt as though everything was finally falling into place. I believed the hardest part of my journey was behind me. I couldn't have been more wrong. Sometimes life changes without warning, and sometimes all it takes is one moment, one misunderstanding, one accusation to change everything. This is the story I'll tell next. Stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel.